Awesome. Okay, so welcome everybody. We're really excited to share this tour with you. It's one that Colette and I have been working on for quite a few months already, and we just took us a while. We wanted to choose the perfect tour company to to travel there with, and we wanted just the perfect itinerary as well. So we have put this presentation together for you. We hope you enjoy it. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll have lots of time at the end, but hopefully we'll go through a lot of the information that you're thinking as we go through. So we'd chosen the beginning of November. It's a great time. It's just the beginning of summer in New Zealand. So it'll be nice. The weather will be probably in the like low 20s, maybe late teens, depending where we are, north and south on the island. On the South Island, it'll be a little bit cooler, but and the weather's so unpredictable these days, you never know. But it should be quite comfortable and really nice temperature to be touring in. So the 5th of November is the date that the tour will actually start in New Zealand, which is about 2 days ahead. So when you fly from Canada, like from say Vancouver, you'll arrive 2 days later. So you'll leave at the latest on November the 3rd. And then, so just to give you an idea, so New Zealand is 1,600 kilometers from north to south. So it's, so like you think this these little islands in the South Pacific, but it's actually quite a lot of distance from north to south, and you'll see that in the some of the driving times that we'll go over. But these are the spots we'll visit. So up on the North Island, we're going to start with flying into Auckland, then gonna go right up to Paihia, the northernmost point there, and then work our way down south. So the first day, so we're planning on, there's an Air New Zealand flight out of Vancouver that leaves in the evening, and it arrives at 5:30 in the morning into Auckland. So bright and early, too early to check into a hotel. So we decided it would be best to we'll get picked up at the airport with our coach and transfer up to the Bay of Islands. It's about a 3-hour drive. And just so you know, we're going to have, so this trip is different than some of the other ones we've done, but this trip we're going to have the same driver and coach for the entire tour. So it's an absolutely spectacular drive. The scenery is amazing going all throughout New Zealand, and it's quite different, but depending on where we are, but everywhere it's just like, I just feel like it's a feast for your eyes wherever you're looking. But this one going up to the Bay of Islands, there's beautiful vistas you see of the sea, of beaches, bays, and it's just really, really spectacular. So it's a beautiful drive. Hopefully you can stay awake after that long flight getting into Auckland, but it's a really nice a nice drive. So up in the north, so we're going to arrive at the hotel, stay at the Scenic Hotel there. The first day the first full day, we're going to take a cruise out into the Bay of Islands and see, this is a picture of the hole in the rock. This is a really iconic spot that we'll see. The company that we're going with, Fuller's, they're one of only 2 companies in that area that actually are allowed to interact with the marine mammals. So I've had other people tell me that, their dolphins have come up to the boat and they've jumped in and, some of the dolphins, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's something. They don't have to be like a certain distance away from them. So you can get right up close and see hopefully lots of wildlife. But yeah, this area in the north there's lots of places to walk. It's right on the water. It's just a small town. The hotels they're not big high rises or anything, but they're smaller kind of motel style, but just perfect for what we need in that area. So that day we'll be out on the water, and then in the evening we'll have a dinner included. Then the following day, this is a really neat tour, and this will go up to the northernmost point on mainland North Island, New Zealand. This where this lighthouse is called the Cape Reinga. And on the way up there, we drive along the 90-mile beach, which is like it's like a road. Like the same rules of the road apply to this beach. So buses are on there, cars are on there, they drive on, their proper side, and they can go up to, 60, 80 kilometers an hour. But it's really neat. You drive on there a long time. Again, beautiful views, just really unique thing to do. There's some sand dunes in that area, sandboarding, that kind of thing. But it's a really nice drive, and this is where you'll see where the Tasman Sea and the Pacific Ocean meet. So that's actually quite amazing to see as well. Then the following day, we're going to travel down to Auckland. So again, it's about a 3-hour drive, but there'll be stops along the way. And again, scenery is amazing. Staying at the M Social Hotel, which is a great location in Auckland. When we arrive there, we're going to check into the hotel, and then we're going to do a food tour because I don't know, that's like my favorite thing to do, but I think it's such a great way to get engaged into a new city is by tasting, doing a little tasting tour and learning a little, finding your way around and getting the lay of the land there. So we'll do a food tour and 3 hours and just go from place to place in the little bites for us. Um, and then the rest of the day is free. There's a really neat viaduct area where they have these like silos painted and parks, and it's a really neat city. There's a lot of other things that you could do there too that Colette and I can suggest, but it's can get at the rest of that day free on your own to explore. Then the following day, we have planned so the All Blacks, if you don't know, that's the New Zealand rugby team. And I don't know if they still are, but at one point on Air New Zealand, that was their safety video was done by the All Blacks. So they're pretty fun. And everybody, it seems in New Zealand, they're all into their sports culture and especially the All Blacks. So it's an interactive tour, just an hour and a half. And you get to learn a little bit more about their team. And then in the afternoon, then we're going to so Auckland is surrounded by a whole bunch of islands. And so we're going to take a ferry over to, it's just 45 minutes over to one of the islands called Waiheke. And a lot of people in New Zealand, they have holiday homes on Waiheke Island, but there's vineyards, there's markets, there's like little shops, and it's such a great spot. So we're gonna take the 45-minute ferry over and then do a tour around there, where we'll stop at some wineries and taste some food, have lunch, and just enjoy the views. Then the following day, we're going to head over to just to the east of Auckland is the Coromandel Peninsula. And we'll be staying at a hotel there for the next few nights. And it's beautiful. Again, I'm going to keep saying this so many times, but the scenery is so nice. But there's a lot of rock, a lot of caves. There's these beautiful beaches and pathways with rocks and different types of beaches and walking tracks. So this area we're going to start off with doing a glass bottom boat tour. And then the rest of the day is going to be just settling in, just taking it easy, relaxing. Same thing with the following day. It's just going to be a free day, maybe a good day to get some laundry done by this time. But there's kayaking, there's biking, you can swim in the water, you can go along the beach, explore those caves. You can do a cruise and check out some of the local wildlife as well. Rock pools, hot water beach, all of that is in this area. So it'll just be an R&R day, just get into nature and relax. Then the following day is we're going to journey down to Rotorua. So Rotorua is an area that's filled with the geysers, and you can really smell the sulfur in the town. But on the way there, we're going to stop at Hobbiton. And so any of you who have watched those Hobbit movies, I have not, but I've been to Hobbiton and it's seriously like the cutest place ever. And it's in the middle of nowhere. You get there and it's this like cute little Hobbit land where all the lawns of these little Hobbit houses are all manicured and smoke coming from the chimneys and laundry hanging out. And it's really adorable. And they also then have the so it's like the movie set. And then we'll have the buffet lunch there in the restaurant, which is great. And their special beer. Um, and then from there, yeah, we'll head over to Rotorua and get settled into the Sedima Hotel there. In the evening, this is what the picture is of. It's called um, it's a lighted forest walk. And there's all these hanging suspension bridges and lights throughout the trees, and it's just magical. So this is going to be quite a highlight. And I think it's one of those things, I have not done it yet, but once you're like, you can't really imagine it until you go. So that'll be really a nice highlight of that evening. And the following day, then we're going to, it'll be, so Rotorua is a really small town. You can pretty much walk everywhere, actually. So there's the Tupuia itself is sort of like a national park and cultural center. And you just walk through it and they have all these steaming geysers everywhere. And they also have a Maori Arts and Crafts Institute for their local like indigenous youth and anyone I guess wanting to learn how to they make the carvings, they carve wood, they do wood crafting, like learn tattooing and different art traditions, Maori traditions. So that's really neat to see in that area and great, easy to walk around. Then there's also a few other things in that area. Again, you can walk to, like there's an area where they have a whole bunch of kiwi birds. And so you can see them because they're nocturnal. So you see them kind of in the dark there behind the glass. That's neat to see. Also, there's a skyline luge, like a little mountain. You can take the luge ride down. There's some some like sheep shearing, and they have the sheepdogs herding the sheep that you can see. So a lot of it, just little things around the town. And then in the evening, we're going to go to a Maori hangi, it's called. And it's sort of like if you've been to a luau, but you go there and they'll have different stations set up and they teach you how they used to do different things like preparing food, the like the tattooing. They have different stations you can go through, and then at the end they have a dinner for you, which they cook in an umu under the ground, and it's a really good meal. And then they do like some dancing and some songs and stuff like that. So it's a really fun night. From there, we're going to head even further to the east to Napier, which is almost like the first place that the sun hits on the start of the day. So it's Napier is a great little town. It's kind of like this Art Deco town. It was completely leveled by fire and by an earthquake that caused fire in the 1920s. And so they rebuilt it with purpose. And you can see there's a lot of you will do a tour through the town and they point out the different architecture, but there's that Art Deco, there's some Asian influence, and it's a really nice town. And where we're staying is just outside on the edge of Hawke's Bay, and it's just an absolutely beautiful area again. But this will be a really nice day. And then to top it off in the evening, there's a lot of wineries in this area. We're going to have dinner at Mission Estate, which you probably have heard of, but it's, a really delicious dinner. That will be very special. And the following day, then we're going to make our way down to the bottom of the south end of the North Island to Wellington. And we'll probably stop along the way in Greytown or Martinborough, where they have again more wineries, little town, little museums, um, and shops and stuff. It's a great place for lunch. So we'll stop there on the way because it is about a 4 hour drive. And then it's Martinborough area is about an hour out of Wellington. So we'll stop there for lunch and then we'll go into Wellington to our hotel, which is an Intercontinental, a super great location. It's sort of on Wellington's on a bay, and you can again really walk everywhere. There's also this red kind of funicular that you can take up to the top of the hill. They have a planetarium. They have an amazing museum in Wellington called Tapapa. It's a free museum. All the floors are different. They have one that's all about the tectonic plates and the earthquakes, and like it's really interactive, really interesting. So that day when we arrive into Wellington, it's just a free day, so you can go exploring, find your way around. They also have a neat place called the Weta Workshop, where they make a lot of props for movies, and you can't take pictures or anything in there. They call it like Weta World, and you can see a lot of things they made for like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies, and I don't know, all sorts of movies in the area. But there's lots to do in Wellington. It's like a university town, a lot of younger people, and really just a great vibe to it. So the following day in Wellington, we're going to do a tour of, again, like sort of a walking coffee foodie tour. And that will be for about an hour and a half in the morning. And then those are always great. They'll point out different places to visit, but one of them will be after where we'll walk over to the Hannah's Laneway, which again, they have like little chocolate shops, cafes, places that just sell honey, lots of little places to look in and just pop your head into. But bakeries, I think you'll really like that. So nice town. Again, maybe it's time for a little bit of laundry or just, walking around, being outside. And then I am going to, from here, we're going to head onto the ferry down to the South Islands. I'm going to pass this along to Colette to take over talking about the South Island.
My turn, Julie. Thanks for that. It feels like so long ago that I've been there. But yeah, New Zealand is a great place to visit. That's the north end. Now we're going to the south end, and totally different vibe. The driving distance, you'll notice if you look on a map, that's the one thing that you need to know about this journey is it could be 200 kilometers in length, but it could take 4 hours to get there. And part of it is how you have to get around some parks, some lakes, perhaps a glacier or two or whatever, but also the speed. So it's not a hurried place. It's like going into Banff and driving through the park. So you have to just take it all in, because when you think you saw the most beautiful thing, you're going to go around the corner and, oh my goodness, there it is again. So that's New Zealand in a nutshell, basically how I feel. But so we're going to continue on, and we're going to get from Wellington to Picton by ferry. So it's about a 3.5 hour journey by water. So it has all the comforts inside, the lounges, the bars, and Wi-Fi if you want to relax. But part of it too is getting outside, depending if sightings of dolphins, whales, that's something that's possible. So it's time to just kind of take it all in, take pictures, catch up on your emails perhaps, or share Facebook time with your kids. This is a great place to do it. So once we arrive into Picton, we'll be continuing our journey on to Nelson. So we're going to make our way to the Saxton Lodge. The drive from Picton to Nelson is about a couple hours. So again, every time we get on that bus to move, there's going to be something to see. So part of it is sit back, enjoy the journey. We'll have to probably play some games when there's longer drives. But upon arrival in Nelson, it's just a small town. Saxton Lodge is where you're going to accommodate yourself for 2 nights. So, given the time that we're leaving New Zealand for Wellington in the afternoon, you get in to the Picton Ferry, you get to Saxton, it's dinner time. So this is a travel day pretty much. So you'll get there. They do have a restaurant on site. Breakfast is included. So you'll be able to get there, have dinner, relax, walk about 15 minutes from the downtown core. But the next day we'll be going on to do some touring. There's a few different regions we'll visit the next day, and I mean, everybody knows the wine in New Zealand is great. So a lot of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay. So there's 4 different areas that we'll be visiting. One where we'll have lunch. So this is a great journey. There'll be places to stop for photo ops, for just the scenery. So again, like I said before, it's a very scenic drive. So this is pretty much a full day touring between the drive to these places, lunch, take our time, and then head back to the hotel for the last night of our stay. So we're going to move on from Nelson to Franz Josef. So you got to keep in mind, we're on the west side of the South Island. There's 2 drives, and we've chosen the west side for various reasons. But part of it is there is a drive to get from A to B, because if you look at the map, you can see that there's a few parks in the way. So we have to make and go around. So this, by the time we leave and get there, with a few stops along the way, we're looking at about 6 hours. So this is again where, you have to know this ahead of time for the driving purpose. Even if you were driving on your own, that would be the same thing. So we just do it in comfort, and we have a driver guide that's going to help us understand what we're seeing. So Franz Josef is where the glaciers are. You'll see there's not much there other than that. So the idea is we're making our way to Queenstown, and this is how we have to get there. So Franz Josef will be a night stay. There's local restaurants we can walk to for that evening, the next day, depending on the time and the weather. I've done it, but there's opportunities to take a heli up to the glacier. So that'll be an optional thing. And depending on the earliest times that we can offer, if you're interested, will depend on what time we can leave Franz Josef to head to Queenstown. Because again, we have another drive to get to Queenstown. Again, along the way, we'll have a few pit stops, coffee stops, washroom breaks, but our end destination is Queenstown. And this is by far one of the best places to be. So if you want to park yourself downtown Banff, this is 10 times better. This is the place where if you want to do skydiving, parasailing, shot over jet, that's I think how you say it. This is the extreme place if you want to be extreme, or nothing at all. It really depends. So we're going to spend 3 nights here at the Hotel St. Moritz, which is well positioned for you to walk about, to do things, to get to places. We do include a the TS Ernslaw steamship. So that's on the following day. That will take you to a local farmland where we're going to have a buffet lunch. So this is a steamship that's over 100 years old. I think Julie will be on the next slide, the steamship, I believe, a picture of it. There it is. This takes you across Lake Wakatipu. And this, I took this tour, and the scenery is amazing, but also you need to go and look at the steamship. It's one of the oldest, over 100 years old. And, Queen Elizabeth was on it, Bill Clinton was on it, Prince Philip was on it. This is something that's pretty unique and charming. If somebody's into history or boating, this will interest you. But also, having the sheep demonstration, the dog, you're going to visit a farm, they host a buffet lunch, and then you return by ship and you're back basically downtown Queenstown. like I said, everything is within walking distance of the hotel. The area that you'll be in will have other opportunities to walk about, shop if you'd like, visit. I know they have an international wine center where you can fill a card, like a credit card, and fill it with $20, $30, and taste all sorts of wine from all over the world. So that's something that you can do as well. From there, we're going to have a leisure day, because in Queenstown, you might prefer a hike, you might prefer a walk, you might prefer a jet over something very extreme. We don't want to put something here if we have a variety of choices for you, because this is the place. If you want to just stroll around and take it all in, that's great. If you want to do extreme, that picture there shows the shot over jet, and it literally goes, I think it's 5 inches of water, like it's very shallow, but that thing takes off. It is extreme, but also exciting. So that's something that you might want to consider doing when you're there. And that's something that Julie can help you out with in Queenstown. Then the next day, we're going to, I think this is the last day we're there, right? Yeah. The last night we're in Queenstown, sorry, we have to take it back one. We are going to have a dinner at the Skyline. So we're going to take a cable car up to the peak where there's a restaurant called the Skyline, where you're going to have a buffet dinner, but amazing views. So this is something to kind of finish off the stay in Queenstown before we make our way to Mount Cook. Again, another scenic drive. This doesn't really do it justice, but the pictures are amazing. So here it's just a night, because this is a place you need to see on the way to Christchurch. Here you'll spend a night, but also in the evening is where you're going to do the sky stargazing event. This is something you'll enjoy, sit back. They're going, I think it's about an hour or 2 hours, the event. It depends on weather, whether you're going to go indoors in a dome area that has big screens, but they have the telescopes, they astronomists, everything is here. But this is where you'll get a clear sky, clear pictures of why you're there. Why did we stop there? And this is perfectly the best way to describe it. So again, you have to see it to believe it. So after that evening, we'll be heading towards Christchurch. Again, this is another drive. I believe I've got down here that it's about 4 hours to Christchurch from Mount Cook. Again, the drive is to get around all these lakes and parks. There's nothing we can do about it. So Christchurch, from most of you probably know that they had suffered quite a bit of destruction in the earthquakes years ago, and they've been amazing at rebuilding. And today it's a place that most people want to visit just to see what they did. So when we arrive from there, again, you're going to depart probably around 9 o'clock after breakfast, 9:30, and you're going to make our way to Christchurch, where you're going to arrive sometime mid-afternoon, early afternoon, enough time to check in. But what we've done is created a walking tour so that, yeah, you've been sitting on the bus and you'd like to maybe get around a bit. So the idea is to check in, meet, and take a walk, get familiar with the area that you're in. And then the rest of the night we'll leave at leisure, because there's plenty to do. Again, a great walking distance to other things. Then the following day, it's going to be a day tour. It's about an hour and a half drive to Akaroa. I've been practicing, but it's an area, a small village town where there's history to it. It used to be a whaling depot back in the time. So this is where you're going to enjoy a harbor cruise. We're going to have lunch at Bully's Hayes. Again, why do we go there? Part of it is history. Part of it is the beauty of the area, and like every township, every place we go to has something to offer. So we chose this place to give you a little bit more, because Christchurch is a city. You'll see everything you need to see, but what is around there? And this is a great place to visit. So on the way back, we'll stop at a cheese factory, cheese is always good, to sample and maybe take some home. I don't know if you can, but maybe you can. The following day, we wanted to, being at the last full day before the tour ends, we wanted to ensure that you had time to maybe last minute shopping, don't want to get up too early, prepare to travel, to prepare to pack, just to be ready for the next day. Because we wanted something really special to end this. And we figured, how cool would it be to do a tramway restaurant dinner experience? So basically, it's a train that goes around the town and you dine on board. They used to have it in Melbourne at one time, but no longer. And we were really pleased to see that they still offer this in Christchurch. So it's a great way to see around the city. There is a menu that we would provide so you know ahead of time what to expect. The space inside the train, kind of like the space inside of an aircraft, just to give you an idea. So, but the whole idea is the concept of moving around the city while you're eating. So we figured that would be a nice finish to the tour. It's a 7:30 p.m. dinner. It's about 2.5 hours. Enough time to get back, farewell. And then, well, we all know what happens after you finish your last dinner. It's time to get ready to go home. So this is where we have a group transfer to the airport. Again, the one thing with this tour, if you wanted to go ahead a few days before the tour starts, if you wanted to continue on, there's so many options here. So this is the tour that we're offering. Anything more we can add on. You want to go to Australia, you want to go to Fiji, there's multiple options. The whole idea is, as a group, we want to come in and try to get everybody at the same time to come in and to go out. Otherwise, we have to modify a little bit for you. But other than that, that would be the end of the tour. The flights would generally go from Christchurch, connect in Auckland, and then on your way home. And that's how we would arrange that for you. So just to give you a synopsis, maybe Julie, you can jump into and we can chat. We have 22 nights at 4-star hotels. Daily breakfasts, we have 7 lunches and dinners included. We have daily sightseeing as per itinerary. The transportation, we have our coach guy right from the north to the south. So it's awesome because we'll all know who that person is. They'll know us and we'll have a story to tell. Because they're tremendous people. They love Canadians, but they love to tell us their story of New Zealand. They're so proud. We expect a moderate level of physical ability just for, climbing and not climbing mountains or anything, but walking, right? And it'll be fully escorted at this point. Julie's going to be attending this group. If all else fails and something that happens that she can't make it, then I'll be stepping in. Other than that, exclusions, of course, airfare, which we can help you with, travel insurance. You need a New Zealand travel visa there, visitor's visa. We'll give you the link for it, but it's something you have to do on your own. Declaration form, those are all things that can be done, and they take minutes to do online. They're very simple to do. Anything that's marked optional, any meals we haven't mentioned, and then gratuities to the driver guides. Pretty much that sums it all up. It's usual. We don't usually include all the meals because we want people to have choices because it is your time there. And sometimes people choose to dine together, which is great. And that's what, traveling as a group brings to you.
Perfect. So then, so everyone's wondering probably what's the price? So the company we're using, they're in the South Pacific in in Australia and New Zealand. And so the pricing is based in New Zealand dollars, but we definitely have the advantage here with the our dollar being a lot stronger. So the pricing is based on a minimum of 10 people. So we need 10 people and then we'll guarantee that the tour is a go. The maximum we would have is 18, but I don't think we would have that many. I think we'll have 14, maybe at the most, maybe 16. But we'd have room for 18 if we needed or decided to. But yeah, 10 to make it a go. It's 15,900 New Zealand dollars based on double occupancy, which is about 13,200 Canadian. And for single occupancy, it works out to be about 16,490 today, based on today's exchange rate. If anyone is wanting to is traveling as a single and wants to do a share, just let us know. I know there's some people who travel solo and are happy to share a room in order to bring the cost down. So uh, the um, the next step would be then after that is deposit would be $1,500 New Zealand per person, and the final payment wouldn't be due until the 23rd of August. So hopefully we will know in the next few weeks. Like if you are interested, let Colette or I know, and we'll just put your name down. And then once we have the 10 people, we'll collect the deposits from there. But hopefully we'll know. I know with Australia, it only took a couple of weeks to confirm that. So that, yeah, minimum 10 to go. And we'll still be using like the same size, spacious coach, even if we only have 10 or 12 people. So
The
be
other
nice and
thing,
comfortable.
yeah, the other thing we can talk about too is, once we do get the 10, then we'll immediately go into air. We'll be talking about airfare. Now, perhaps you have points, maybe you want to do it, and then you can let us know that that's the way you want to do it. We can give you the flights that you should book if you're only going in and out for the tour, so that we manage everybody on the same flight. Otherwise,
Mhm.
we help secure the air, whether you want economy, you want premium economy, you want business class. The reason we're doing all of this now is this is the time to secure those flights once we know we have the 10. So the other thing too is looking into medical coverage, trip cancellation, stuff like that. We can offer some policies, but just know that if you've got something going on in your life right now, just be sure that it's clear for you to travel. There's nothing stopping you from traveling, because then chances are it's not covered. It'll be a pre-existing condition. So we just wanted to make sure everybody's aware of what things to ask.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Good point, Colette, for sure.
So
Um,
I think that was wrapping it up for us.
yeah,
Like I said, if you have questions, because it's a lot of information to take, and you have to consider all the angles. So we can appreciate that. So if you have questions, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to talk.
yeah,
We
yeah.
will send the recording once it's downloaded, and we'll have a day-to-day itinerary. Sometimes you need to review it again, just to understand the whole concept. Maybe get a map so you know
Mhm,
exactly where you're going, and know that yeah, it takes a little bit of time to travel around New Zealand, but it is okay.
mhm. Yeah.
So
But if you love nature, and like Colette said, the people there are so nice. And I know you can meet nice people. They're just like so lovely, down to earth, and just such kind people. And so I think, yeah, if you like people, you like nature, scenery, good food, good wine, good company. I think it's definitely a tour for you and a place that you should visit. It's so safe, so easy. Our dollar goes far, and yeah, a lot. Just the it all. New Zealand definitely offers a lot, so I'd
I'm
definitely recommend
gonna,
it.
Julie, I'm gonna ask to unmute. Everybody can unmute and bring them back
Yeah,
in,
let's
so
take
they
some
can,
questions.
like, yeah, questions. If you want to talk to us, we're happy
Yeah,
to answer some questions right now. I'm going to try and see if we can unmute everybody. Yeah, I think everybody's coming on
Oh,
and
slowly
I think
coming back.
some of you have been before. If you have any comments, we'd love to hear them as well. But yeah, so feel free, don't be shy if you have any questions.
Perhaps.
Hi, it's Suzanne.
Oh,
It's
hi,
Suzanne
Suzanne.
here. Hi,
Hi.
Colette.
Hi.
Um, I was just wondering, for the deposit, I don't think I heard the date for when you need that.
Well, basically, Suzanne, if you were interested, then, you know, the idea is Julie and I will be talking between our clients who call to who's
Right. Yeah.
asking for interest, because we will get,
Sorry.
like, if you told me you wanted to go, then I will
Yes.
take all the information down. And when we reach 10, I'll be calling you saying, Suzanne, to go, you're still going, so that I
Well,
can
it's a
put your
river there,
deposit
isn't
through.
it? That's where it goes into the
Right.
ocean.
So it's pretty much when you're ready, when we get that 10, we will definitely be calling everybody that has, because it might be a day or two or maybe a week before we get to 10, but we'll take the names down and say, okay, I've got 2, you've got 2, we got 4, oh, we got 10, we're good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
We'll let you know by email very, very soon.
Yeah, I know you've been waiting a long time, Suzanne.
Yeah, because
Thanks for your
we're all set.
And we
No
have to
worries.
say, that since 2020, there has, and you might have noticed, we've had a lot of delays in getting information and availability. We know Australia, New Zealand is high on the list for many, and the amount of people traveling, the demand is so high that at some case we're having difficulty gaining the space, securing our space so that we can sell it to you. So sometimes they'll give us
Yes.
deadlines, and that's what happened to my South Africa trip. Is they wanted deposits sooner than before, so we're not prepared. So the idea is that it's not, we're trying not to pressure, but we know that they will give us so much time, and then they'll say, look, if you're not selling it, we're pulling all the space. So there's deadlines for us, just so you know, we don't want to disappoint anybody. But this is just how our business has been for some of these destinations. It's been a little bit unnerving, but I think we're managing okay. And perhaps anyone who's online that was with us in October, November for our Australia trip, if you have any comments, I'm hoping they're all good, might want to pipe in and say something about our touring, you know, because part of it is we're escorting, or Julie's going to escort, or myself, whatever, but having an escort with you can make all the difference.
I think maybe somebody wants to mention the jokes that I share sometimes. I have some good dad jokes and usually have cookies and chocolate.
I had a question here about an idea on airfare. So depending on the type of air you're wanting, I would probably say you'd have to start at probably 2,500 and up. Would you agree, Julie?
Yeah. I was gonna say like maybe from here, like from Alberta 22, something like that. Yeah. They've come down. I've found in the last like 6 months maybe. Then
so it's dependent on what you're looking for. If you're in the premium to business, there's a high demand for premium economy.
Yeah, there is.
Selling
6 to 9,000.
We don't want to disappoint if there's something that you want, and we can tell you the differences between the 3 different fares.
Okay.
Yeah.
That include the emergency services to remove features, or
Is there any questions?
Siri, were you saying something, Todd?
does that include the emergency?
I didn't get it.
Include the emergency.
Sorry, does it include the
Emergency services from the leak removal?
Oh, I don't know.
Use that
Sorry, I don't know.
We can't hear you very clear, Todd or Murray.
I think I better go.
I bet it's something funny.
Julie, he was asking if it included the emergency leech removal.
Oh, yeah, that's another story.
Yeah.
No leeches on this trip. No leeches on this trip. So it's all good.
Yeah, and honestly, and New Zealand has nothing that's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
No spiders, no snakes. Yeah, like you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid walking, with bare ankles like I was.
Yeah. So it's all good.
That's right. You can sleep outside if you want.
Okay, well, if there's no other questions, what we're going to do is just finish the recording. And like I said, we'll send you a copy after it's downloaded. We'll get the itinerary, and we welcome the questions. And if you have friends or family that you think might be interested, please share it with them. But as soon as we get the 10, it's a go. And it's a matter of getting the air, and that's it. Once you're done, you're done.
Yeah, just
But
look forward to
thanks
it.
for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank
I know
you.
we got off a little sideways here, but that's kind of what we do.
For sure. Oh, thank you so much for your time, all of you. So good to see you.